you can build a true 360 degrees base defense system to the point that no attacking enemy in a settlement will be able to hide. And in this video I will show you how to set up this system using this very simple hack. Hi, I'm Mo and I'm trapped in Fallout. Before we actually build the system, I'd like to show you what this hack is, as this will become pretty evident in a moment. So to actually use this hack, what we're going to do is first of all go ahead and just build some kind of foundation, something that's ideally raised off the ground. So something like this, a shack foundation. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and build a turret on top of it. So again, any turret will do, doesn't really matter. So let's quickly talk about what this turret is doing. Basically, this turret is now sitting on top of this foundation and it will be able to attack anything it has a line of sight to. So what that really means is anything that it can see, it will attack. So for instance, let's just say for the sake of argument, there happens to be an enemy right here. This turret will be able to see it because the enemy is right over here. It is in its line of sight. However, if it happens to be here behind this wall, then the chances are this turret will not aim and attack for it because it cannot see it. And the reason it cannot see it, for obvious reasons, is because there's a wall in the middle. However, you can do this. When you place a turret somewhere on some foundation, if we happen to highlight the foundation and scrap it, the turret defies gravity. It will not fall down. It will basically stay in place forever until you sort of remove it. So if I go ahead and highlight it, I'll be able to move it. I won't do that just yet. The idea is that this turret will now stay in place. And this is basically the hack. And with that said, how can we take advantage of this? Well, it's actually very simple. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and take this and just put it down there. What we're going to do is build a turret system in the sky. By building a turret system in the sky, it will virtually have a full 100% degree or a full 100% line of sight across virtually everything, i.e. an entirety of a settlement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit extreme and I will cut the video to sort of speed things up. What we're going to do is go as high as we can. Now before we do that, what we can do is set something like this, sort of like a foundation, a marker, so to speak, so just so that we know where we're starting to build our stairs. And then what you want to do is just build a set of stairs going up as high as you possibly can. Now, different settlements have a threshold when you decide to build what we will call levels. So you can't endlessly keep on building all the way into the sky. At some point, you will hit a threshold. So in Sanctuary, this happens to be the threshold. I think we're about, maybe about 5 or 6 stairs up. I can't build any further than that. So we're going to go ahead and scrap this. And now from here, what we're going to do is build some standard wooden platforms and just sort of go around in a massive circle. So what we're going to do is build this system here and just go around in a massive circle. So by circle, I mean we're going to go all the way this way and then go all the way around and sort of come back full circle to around here. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and skip to that portion of the video. Right. So I have now built pretty much a floating platform, so to speak. This is totally raised off the ground and this is as high as I can possibly build it. I rebuilt that stair over there just to act as a reference anchor to sort of show you that I can't go above this, but I've now built turrets, or rather I've now built platforms. Now, I didn't go too much because I don't want to balloon this video more than I have to, but there's nothing stopping me from building platforms all the way out over there as well. Basically, I can keep on building as less restricted I am by the sort of boundaries of this settlement. So with that now done, now what we're going to do is just go ahead and actually start to place turrets. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start placing turrets. Now, we don't have to be very specific with our placements because at the end of the day, they're just going to end up floating. So I'm just going to go and place turrets all the way around. And again, what I'm going to do in the interest of time is just go ahead and skip to the portion of the video where I've basically placed turrets everywhere. And with that, I have now basically placed a turret in as many spots as I could see. Again, I could have gone further out. I decided not to, but let's see what we've achieved so far. So let's just take any turret as an example. Let's take this one here as an example. If you consider this turret's line of sight, it can basically see everything, right? It can see everything, even all the way out over there. And because it happens to be, say, above this building, if there's anything around this building, it should be able to see it. Now, if there's anything, say, beyond that building over there, so where your workshop is, that turret may not be able to see it, but this turret here will be able to see it. So by building this system and this set of turrets, they will now be able to see everything. Now, the obvious thing is they will obviously not be able to see anything directly below them. And again, that isn't a problem. And that isn't a problem because we can now do this. We can basically just scrap all the wooden platforms. So what I'm going to do is, again, in the interest of time, just go ahead and scrap every single wooden platform. I've accidentally scrapped the turrets there, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and scrap every single platform, and I'll see you in a moment. And with that, I've now virtually scrapped every single platform with the exception of my stairs, just so that I can go down. So before we actually go and test this, there's a couple of other things I want to mention. So this obviously doesn't look very pleasant, and I've definitely gone a bit overkill for the sake of showing you just how powerful this hack is for this video. But what are the advantages of doing this? So first of all, the obvious advantage is that any given turret would be able to see virtually everything in the settlement. And if there happens to be a blind spot for any given turret, a turret somewhere else would probably cover that blind spot. And again, I didn't go all the way out to the boundaries of the settlement. I just sort of decided to focus on one very particular area, i.e., let's just call it this road area. Now, there's another big benefit. Because the turrets are up in the sky, so now I'm just going to go down and I'm going to scrap the stairs as well. Because they are up in the sky, they cannot be attacked by melee attackers. So if you happen to have anything attacking your settlement and it happens to be a melee, it is virtually impossible for them to attack your turrets. So your turrets are safe from melee attackers. Now the other problem is, what about attackers that use projectiles like bombs or missiles? Well, again, they're not likely to actually end up attacking or rather be able to take down your turrets. Why? Because the moment they sort of try and aim for one turret, each turret is sort of supported by a number of other turrets. So chances are that enemies that use projectiles will actually not have enough time to be able to take down turrets anyway. So this is a hack, so to speak. Again, doesn't look very pleasant. Well, or maybe it does, it's really up to you. But using this system means you can virtually take down anything and your settlement will be pretty well protected. So what I'm going to do now is, sadly, there's no way that I can invoke reliably a settlement attack. So I will have to use console commands to just spawn in some random enemies. So I'm just going to go ahead and spawn in, let's just start with one single Deathclaw just to see what it looks like. So I'm going to go and do that now. And with that, I've now spawned in a Deathclaw, and let's just look at the carnage right here. So as you can see, my frame rate sort of lagged there for a moment, but that Deathclaw virtually had no chance. It was taken down, not instantly, but to the point that it didn't really pose a threat. Now let's go ahead and repeat this for perhaps 3 Deathclaws. Okay, so now we have 3 Deathclaws, and again, if you have a look, the turrets up in the sky are virtually taking them down, giving them virtually no chance to be able to do anything. And with that, all 3 have virtually been annihilated. And that's basically the system. Because the turrets are up in the sky, they virtually cannot be attacked by any melee attackers. If any enemies happen to spawn that happen to use projectiles, then they usually are not a threat to the turret system either, simply because they will only be targeting, let's just say, that turret over there. But the fact that that turret has another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turrets around it just simply means that that enemy won't have enough time to do enough damage to the turret to take it down. And the other sort of nice bonus is, because they're sort of up in the sky, they don't sort of obstruct you from being able to place them anywhere on your settlement. And lastly, probably the big benefit is you won't need to manage it either. If by any chance your turrets happen to go down, so they happen to be damaged, over time settlements repair themselves anyway. So if there's a turret up in the sky that gets damaged, you don't really have to sort of physically go up there and fix it yourself. It will automatically be repaired by itself anyway. In this video, I showed you how to set up a 360 degrees base defense system to basically allow your settlement to take care of pretty much any incoming enemy. That said, you may have noticed that I needed a significant amount of resources to actually build the defenses. To learn about how I went about gathering all of these resources needed to build this entire system, click on the video you see on the screen now, and I will show you how to use the resource duplication glitch in Fallout 4.